What's up, Rock for Life? It's Ray Holiday here as a part of our Rock Style series with the incomparable Melanie Fiona.
Hey!
Melanie Fiona is the first in our series of wonderful, great artists. And what we want to do with this series is we want to take your personal style and we kind of want to flip it. I think a lot of times artists get so caught up into, well, not artists, the media gets so caught up into you being here, you being this, that, and the other, and sometimes we make you out to be something that you're not. So this is your opportunity to tell the world what your fashion style really is and first of all.
First of all, I like dressing like a real person. That's one thing that I like, you know, wearing regular things, but wearing them in my own style and doing them my own way. You know, I feel like a lot of people have been hitting me up and be like, oh, I love your style, like you dress like a person. And I think it's all on how I put it together, and I think a lot of my style is reflected from my upbringing. It's reflected from my influence of, you know, multiculturalism and different types of music, and you know, it's pattern and color, and it's a little bit bohemian, and it's a little bit couture. I just all think it's about dressing up and dressing down your look. So, you know, there's a definite distinction between where I am chilling in my hotel doing an interview with Rock for Life to when I'm at an award show or when I'm on stage or when I'm on tour.
What is the role that you think fashion plays on most music artists today?
Today, it's like 90% everything, you know, and like as an artist and as a musician, that hurts to say because you want it to be about the music, but we're in a different world right now where people are focused on everything else, and so, you know, it is important to have those things together, but, you know, me personally, I think it's just as important to have all of the aspects together, so all of the elements. So, you know, for me, it is as much as it is important for me to look good, it's just as important for me to sound great on stage, write great songs, make great music.
As a result of that, do you think that it kind of takes away from the artists to have so much emphasis be put on fashion?
Well, yeah, absolutely, because you have some artists nowadays that people forget were artists because they're just so known to be public figures.
Very true.
You know, and if that's what you want to do, that's cool, that's what you want to do, but I would rather have people recognize me for saying, yo, that Melanie Fiona's dope in style, she's dope in music, and like, it's an overall package, rather than just being like, she's got great style, but she can't really sing. I don't want to be that artist.
Before our very eyes were actually seeing your style evolve a little bit. When you first jumped up on the scene, big hair and big voice. But now, everything is kind of toned down a little bit. Still the big voice, but it's a little sexier.
Yeah.
Explain that just a little bit.
I'm feeling a little sexier these days.
Okay.
You know, I think that in the experience of becoming an artist, growing as a young woman, you know, being all around the world, taking in those experiences, being in the public eye, it's kind of, I think, forced me to get in touch a little bit more with who I am and what I want people to know about me. I definitely think that I'm, you know, feeling a little bit more sure about who I am and the way that I want to see myself presented now, the vision that I have for myself progressing and growing as an artist and as a fashion icon in the future. And, you know, having a real thought for that, you know, not just kind of, you know, saying, okay, well, this is what it is. It's a thought process. It's all about growth and evolution.
Absolutely.
And, you know, just finding my own way. That's really what it's about.
I mean, well, we're here for Rock for Life, and it wouldn't really be a Rock for Life interview if we didn't bring Rocawear in at some point in time. Rocawear, as it stands, is one of the number one brands, one of the number one urban brands, and it's one of the longest standing urban brands. So the longevity is definitely there. I know you have to be a fan of the brand.
They gave me a billboard in Times Square.
They absolutely did. You are part of an amazing campaign.
It was an amazing campaign. We did some amazing shoots, and you know, we shot in London and Puerto Rico, and I loved how they took this urban brand and put it out in this very artistic way. So happy to be a part of it because I do think music and fashion are instrumental and they go hand in hand.
They definitely do.
So shout outs to Rocawear for being so successful for so many years, and like, thank you again for the opportunity. I was so happy to be a part of the campaign, for real.
What do you think are some of the elements that have caused them to be around for so long?
I think they do what they do best, and that's making clothes that are real and affordable, and they know their demographic, they know what it is, they know who they're going after, their market, and like I said, that's why I thought it was important that, you know, you bring out music to feel that as an artist, that's another way. It's like, okay, well, let's have Melanie Fiona and Trey Songz, you know, speak to this audience that they already speak to through music, and make it about fashion and music.
So let's talk about the future. You're about to release some new things, and how are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling great.
What's the difference between the first time around and this time around?
First time around, I had no idea what I was doing.
Okay.
You know, as an artist, you don't.
Right.
It's this new world that you're stepping into. It's a new world when you go from being an unknown artist, and then the day that your video plays and
Right.
the day that your song goes to radio,
Right.
there are more people that know you today than they did know you yesterday.
Absolutely.
And that changes, and that really affects you. So it was a lot for me to go through the process of welcoming that, dealing with how that's gonna affect me, and
Right.
making the music, making an album that was every song I ever made up to that point was for my first album.
Right.
And now, from that point, making that first album, putting that out, it's like this huge accomplishment in your life, and then you share that with the world. And the first album definitely was reflective of my homage and my respect to the artists and sounds that influenced me. Now, the new album, The MF Life, is about Melanie Fiona. It is about the MF life.
I love the name.
It's about the MF life. This MF life, living your MF life, and what MF means to you and everybody. It's up for interpretation, and it is about the highs and lows of life.
That's amazing.
And that's the one thing that I've learned, I would say, throughout this whole process. And it's a very humbling experience to experience both such incredible accomplishments and blessings,
Right.
and then still have to struggle and work and grind. And and you can either stay focused on the high,
Right.
which is an illusion, or you can stay focused on the low, which is detrimental.
Right.
And I think it's a beautiful thing to try to encourage people, especially in my story, sharing my story, to find the beauty and the balance in between, because life will never stay up or down. It's always going to go in waves. So I think that's my growth, and on this album particularly, I've been in the studio with the likes of Drake and Jack Splash and B.O.B. John Legend, Low, Snow ID, Kanye West producer, and in making this album, it's become the ups and downs of love, and the different ways we can tell stories about love, and that's what the MF Life is about. Shout outs to the Rock for Life family, shout outs to Rocawear, shout outs to my Rock Nation team, shout outs to my fans out there who are part of the Rock Nation family and the Rocawear family and the Rock for Life family. Shout outs to my label, my Title IX family. I'm so humble and appreciative of the support that I've had from all ends, internally, externally, to the world. Thank you guys so much. I couldn't be doing this without you, and I really hope that you enjoy the new album and the new projects that we have coming out.
It's Melanie Fiona, it's Rock Style. We're out.